The world isn't exactly how it looks. Sometimes we think we understand everything around us, but really, we're just seeing things the way we want to. As the great philosopher and mystic William Blake once said, if the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. Blake understood that our perception of reality is limited by our own condition and beliefs. We see what we want to see and believe what we want to believe, constructing a world of our own making. But this world is not the true reality, it is merely a projection of our own minds. Even though we can touch and see things around us, they aren't exactly as real as they seem. Our senses and how we see things shape what we think is real, but it's not the whole picture. We name things and give them forms, which limits how we understand them. What we think we see is just a small part of what's really out there. To really understand what's real, we have to admit that our senses can't show us everything, and our way of seeing things is just one way of looking at them. We need to think beyond what we can touch and see to understand reality fully. Our bodies are miraculous creations, complex systems that seamlessly sustain our lives. But what allows this perfect harmony to exist? It is consciousness, an intelligent force that regulates and directs all the processes in our bodies, enabling us to exist and connect with the world around us. This same intelligence is present throughout the universe, orchestrating all the processes that make up the infinite cosmos. To truly see the world as it is, we must cleanse the doors of our perception. We must learn to let go of our preconceptions and open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities of the universe. Only then can we begin to glimpse the true nature of reality and find our place within it. In the words of Carlos Castaneda, the great visionary and writer, we are all dreamers wandering through the labyrinth of our own minds. We mistake our thoughts for reality, and our perceptions are filtered through a maze of beliefs, prejudices, and social conditioning, creating a web of illusions that we mistake for objective truth. However, what if we were to awaken from this dream and realize that everything we see and experience is a projection of our own consciousness? By recognizing the elusive nature of our perceptions, we can transcend our limited understanding of reality and embrace a more expansive and enlightened perspective. Only by freeing ourselves from the shackles of our own illusions can we truly experience the world as it is, infinite and boundless. In The Art of Living, one of the most valuable skills we can cultivate is that of controlled folly. This entails a light-hearted and detached approach to the many illusions that we encounter in our daily lives. By refraining from taking our perceptions and beliefs too seriously, we can liberate ourselves from the confining grip of our own mental constructs and open ourselves to a newfound sense of openness and curiosity, moving away from narrow perspectives. According to Castaneda, controlled folly is not a method of dissociating from reality but rather an approach to engaging with it more intimately. By realizing that everything is a dream or a mirage, we can start to challenge our presumptions and seek out fresh possibilities for perceiving and existing in the world. In the eyes of Miguel Ruiz, the Mexican shaman and author, our reality is not an objective truth but a personal interpretation of the world around us. We are all living in our own version of reality, shaped by our individual perceptions and experiences. Yet, at the same time, there is a shared illusion that we all participate in, a collective dream that shapes the way we see and interact with the world. This dream is the product of the agreements and beliefs that we inherit from our culture and society, and it can either liberate us or limit us, depending on how aware we are of its influence. In India, spiritual teachings often say that the world is like an illusion or not real. They use the word Maya to describe this idea, which also means that temporary things aren't really true. It's like we're seeing a big trick when we look at the world with our minds. Only when we truly understand things can we break free from not knowing and from being stuck in life and death. Maya is like a secret power we don't fully get, similar to how we know what electricity does but not exactly what it is. This idea of Maya also fits with how we live today. We're surrounded by lots of things happening all the time, like what we see, feel, and how others influence us. But if we only focus on what's on the surface, we might miss what's really going on. Sometimes, we fool ourselves about who we are and what's real around us, not just because of what others say, but also because of our own thoughts and feelings. There are two levels of this Maya of the world. The first is the Maya of the world of nature, which holds a wealth of beauty and grace behind the appearances of the various landscapes that we take for granted, the magic of the mountains, rivers, ocean, sky, and stars. Nature is a Maya of beauty and wonder, intimating a yet deeper cosmic reality. This Maya of nature can help us develop spiritually once we learn to decode its symbols and subtle processes and learn how to meditate deeply upon it. The second and more difficult level of Maya is the Maya of the human world, which contains various hidden influences, control mechanisms, and power games behind the social, economic, political, intellectual, religious, and spiritual influences that make up our social order. A great example of the Maya of our lives is a rainbow. A rainbow looks beautiful in the distance, but when you go closer, it disappears. It is only an optical illusion. There are many rainbows in our lives, some are illusions based on how we look at the world, but others are indications of yet greater realities that we cannot see. The world is a magical place, never to be experienced as mundane if we are open to perceiving it anew at every moment. What we see outwardly are only symbols, indications, and connections with something greater, ultimately with the entire universe. Everything we encounter serves as gateways to a deeper reality, not as realities themselves. The question is whether we choose to open these doorways or mistake the door itself as the ultimate, never crossing through to explore what lies on the other side. Some people only see what's on the surface of life and are okay with just knowing the basics about themselves. But smart folks don't assume anything and always try to understand things better, both inside and out. They realize that everything around them is connected to what they think and feel. They take responsibility for their thoughts and actions and don't blame others for what happens to them. So, stop thinking you know it all or what's what. Forget about your opinions, likes and dislikes, and even who you think you are or what the world is. The real truth is too big for our minds to understand or explain. It's something you feel deep in your heart, a mystery that will always be there. When your heart feels connected to something, it's way stronger than what your mind can divide up. If we see the world as Maya or illusion at its surface, we can discover the depths of the cosmic reality wherever we look. We can find the whole in each part, the eternal in a moment, the infinite in a point, the entire universe in every object. All that we see is sacred and divine, a display of vibrations in which creatures and objects arise like patterns in a kaleidoscope, only to dissolve back again into the light. We are the light behind appearances, that is also the light through which we see. That light alone remains, and yet in it, nothing is ever lost. To see the world as Maya means to look through that Maya to the divine presence behind it, through which its wonder, delight, and transformational power can unfold. The reality is known for those who do not think they know, and it is unknown to those who think that they know. True knowledge is not information about appearances, it is knowledge by identity, in which we become one with all that we see. It requires that we see with the light of the heart, not with the memories of the mind. We must learn to look beyond the illusion of multiplicity to the one being, the inner self that shines radiant through all understanding. Reality isn't just about what you know but about breaking free from the limits you set for yourself. If you stick to your personal boundaries, you won't grow and see things differently. To understand reality better, you need to change inside. This means using your mind and feelings, as well as any other tools you have, to change how you see things. When you're stuck in old ways of thinking, you can end up suffering for a long time. You've got a choice: either start changing the limits you've set for yourself, even if it means leaving your comfort zone, or keep things the same and deal with the consequences of staying stuck. But how can we get out of this trapped feeling and see things more clearly? To transform the world or anything outside yourself, you must first transform your internal dialogue. You must transmute your thoughts and beliefs, as the ancient mentalists and hermetic practitioners knew. Realizations do not come from outside of you, they take place within. The gods you worship, the fears that grip you, the joys that elate you, all exist within you and are born from your own consciousness. The key to your liberation lies within yourself, holding the power to shape your destiny. The path to God lies in recognizing the eternal life within the fleeting moments of life. It transcends mere theoretical knowledge. It is a personal experience that defies expression in words, what can only be felt. God uses the Maya power in order to enter into the field of manifestation. It is the process of the becoming of the one into many and again the return of the many into the original one. By understanding the illusions in your life, you can transcend them and access the profound state of ultimate awareness and bliss. The big truth of the universe is everywhere, all the time. We're all important parts of God, who's experiencing life through different forms and beings at once. And you're not separate from this godly presence. No one is more or less special than anyone else. Everyone has the same worth and the power to make their own reality. Understanding your connection to the universe and feeling connected to its endless energy is what it means to realize your own divinity. I hope you liked this video. Subscribe for more such videos. Thanks for watching.